Chapter 6, Section 1, Example 2. A bond of $25,000 at 7.25% is due on November 15th, 2016, with interest payable on May 15th and November 15th. Find the value of the bond on May 15th, 2004 to a buyer who wants a return on the investment of 6% converted semi-annually if, and then part A, the bond is called at 104, and then part B is returned at par. You guys can't see that yet. Okay, so here I already have my timeline set up. So down here is our maturity date. Our face value goes down there, so that's going to be $25,000 for F. Okay, and then we're calling it in part A at 104. So that means that C is going to equal 1.04. So we divide this by 100 times our F, which was 25,000. And when we multiply those together, we get 26,000. So you do that on your own. We're trying to find V. Okay, so we have to move this backwards. So right here, this is our 26,000 is right here. So we also need our FIB and those details. So here our IB for this whole problem is 7.25%, so it's 0.0725, and then it's payable on May 15th and November 15th, so that means it's semi-annually because those are 6 months apart. And then here we have our other I is 6%, and again converted semi-annually. Okay, so we have both of these pieces together. So now we're ready. The only thing we're missing is our N. So for N, to help me keep track of what's going on, I made a nice table just to help me. So we buy it in May 2004, and then so we're not going to collect interest that day, so that means the first time we get interest is going to be in November 2004, and then we're going to just keep adding 2 until we get up to this. So then we do 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and then when we up here we do one more, so that means that in May 2012 we'll be at the 16th payment. So that means from May 15th 2004 to May 15th 2012, and would be 16. So that V is going to be, well, we called it that, so that 26,000 times 1 plus our I here is 0.06 over 2, and that's to the negative 16, plus our FIB, so we forgot to do that part, so let's go back up here. So our F is 25,000, so that tells us that our FIB is going to be 0.0725 over 2, that's our IB, times that 25,000. So when we do that on our calculator, we get 906 and 25. Plug that in, 906.25, so not as nice of a number as last time, but still a good number. So that's going to be 1 minus 1 plus 0.06 over 2 to the negative 16 all over 0.06 over 2. Because this again is your A sub n, you're taking all those payments and moving all of them backwards. So when we enter that in our calculator, it's going to look like this, which means we get 27,585 and 84 cents, rounding to the nearest penny. Alright, part B. If the bond is redeemed at par at the end of the term, so at par means that C and F are equal, and again, if nothing's stated, we just assume C and F are equal, so this is nothing new. Now it becomes a problem just like number 1 that we just did. So go ahead and pause and try to figure this one out. So your N is going to be, you're going to continue from 16 and count all the way up. So again, go ahead and pause, and then unpause when you're ready. Okay, So here we said F was 25,000, so that's not going to change from above. Our FIB we calculated was 906.25. That didn't change. Our I is 0.06 over 2. That didn't change. So all of this information, nothing's changed. The only thing that's going to change from part A is our C and our N. Okay, so when we finish calculating N, we get 17, 19, 21, 23, so 25 would be our N. So from May 15th, 2004 to November 15th, 2016, N would be 25, right? Because again, we're going the full term, so the full length. So when we plug this in, our V is going to be 25,000 times 1 plus 0.06 over 2 to the negative 25 plus 906.25. Again, that's the same as what we were using before. And then 1 plus 0.06 over 2 to the negative 25 over 0.06 over 2. So when we plug that whole thing in the calculator, so I'm just going to take my previous entry and manipulate it so that becomes a 5. This is now 25. This is 25, because again, that's the only thing that's changing here. So then for V we get 27,720 and 80 cents.